We are live with the GTI series as we have the call to drivers to get to your cars. We're going to get going in just a few short moments. We are without a pace car, but we are with a 7-car grid, multi-class technically, as Nico will be in a GT300 car. That's the R7 back there. Not running for position, just running to run. As we have 7 cars, but sits in the GTI class today. We'll have one pace lap to get things right. Let's get that going. We're also followed by JD Kelly here. JD, do you have a copy?
Copy that.
Thank you, Kelly. Alright, so we are here in a bit of an interesting qualifying session. Arisnetta took it just at the line. It looked like it was going bad for her. Twin's going to have to go all the way from the back, as we're going to have a yellow flag out now for everyone to start pacing. Go in the car ahead of you goes and maintain your spots. GTI class and average has some of the best drivers in the series, as there's not really any sticklers behind in the field today. It sits relatively pretty high skilled drivers, as well as Nico Alves in the GT300 car, which should be around on pace, though I suspect it might be a bit slow here. Who's your call to win today's race?
Well, you know, I would say Arisnetta, but, you know, I'm going to have to go with a good pick here. A good, nice, and safe pick. A strong guy in the rocks, mods, and basically everything that is SLC. I'm going to go have fun with my pick. The stud, the man, the myth, the legend.
Everyone go past Ayers. File past Ayers. Let Ayers fit your game.
What about you, Ruba? Who's your pick?
I'm going to say Ayers if she could get her audio fixed, of course. She had a supposed issue early on in pacing. Hopefully everyone's got their
problem.
Yeah, she'll be hopefully able to reroute back to the front of the field, and I think we see her taking off once again. So she's got a couple turns there to make up. So, but overall, my call is Arisnetta.
Well, that's going to be an issue for you, Robo, because I said a remote explosive in her engine pre-race.
Oh no, she's got the British car. And she also has 2 corner cuts, but those will be fixed before we go green.
What?
It's, yeah. Also, a couple new cars in the field. You can see T7 Jake in the Asterion Z4 machine. It's a very nice scheme, by the way. Very much so brand new.
It's not a Lexus. I don't know what's going on here. It's not a Lexus.
He's a BMW guy, too. No, it's Eris. It's Eris. Eris can reform from the front.
No.
But Eris needs to be quick. If she's going slow, then we're not going to let her. So we're going whether or not she gets back to the field. But she can reroute to the front of the lead. She just had some issues that need to be fixed. So, yeah. As Blue Gen goes wide around the corner, let's make sure our pacing's doing well, guys. It's yeah, just try to do everyone. You never know. Pretty long race here today. Really long, drawn out. We thought the cars were going to be the fastest class, although it looks today like they're just a slight bit off from the Rotsmots. But Jake claimed earlier that he was able to get up to 180. Seems to be the speeds are more around 160. Still overall pretty fast cars. So I'm interested to see where that's going to go today. GTR. Maybe the GTR would have been the best car to have driven today.
Man, I think Jake the Cake is going to win today, man. Either that or Twin Turbo V6.
Cars making their way around wind-up. Hold your pace, guys. We need a blind to pick it up a little bit. Do not cross until you, or do not overtake until you cross the line. Now coming out of the final turn, hold your pace, please. Green flag.
Boogity, we're racing in the GTI class.
It's been
Nico.
It's been a long time, but it's good to see the cars back in action. Cars now making their way down the front stretch, and it looks like a very, very good run up to Twin Turbo V6 by Ablide. Ablide now right at the rear bumper. Round turn number 1. Arisnetta gets loose. Keeps on holding the lead.
Meanwhile, back here we got a heated battle for second place right now. I'm going to go to that, as I believe that is between...
That's for the lead. Twin to the lead.
That is for the lead now. Blue Sonic Gen and Arisnetta. Side by side. Arisnetta goes wide. Locks up the tires. Blue Sonic Gen to the lead.
Now make our way around, I believe up here is the Diablo hairpin. Oop, whoopsies there for the camera. I got a little bit of lag going on, but it seems to fit itself. Twin running off with the lead. It looks like the blind gets a little bit loose. Air's trying to make a move around the outside.
Buddy, you just said Twin. It's actually Blue Sonic Gen.
Oh, it's Blue Gen in the car. He's been usually operated by Twin in that, I think we call it the Ibis 488 machine. And it seems to be a little bit of a driver swap between the two. Twin currently operates the Porsche. Looks to peek towards T7 Jake, now to the outside. Reminder, he started all the way in the back of the field, and he's been finding his way to the front. Arisnetta, his next target, as he gets around the straight. Arisnetta goes very wide. What is it?
You also forgot to call Arisnetta by her new nickname, the El Diablo.
That's what you want to say? I mean, I guess that could be...
You keep forgetting everybody's nickname, man.
I say it by the user, basically, at this point, but, you know, it is what it is. T7 Jake.
Shuffle the kangaroo.
Yeah. There's T7 Jake going around the outside for a moment, but then Eris gets it back. Now to the crossover down the front stretch, and she will stay ahead. Actually looks to be getting a very good run on Twin. Their McLaren has been boosted to the highest horsepower, I think, in the field ever since the BOP change, and it seems like in this straight, definitely going well for her.
And meanwhile, we're going to go back here with Nico, whose team seems to be keeping good pace with the GTI class, running behind Jake in his BMW, and Nico.
Harris goes wide.
In last place here, but still keeping nice pace. Good pace. Good pace, Robo. Good stuff. Good shit. Good show.
Field is staying pretty competitive. Of course, all these drivers are fairly equal. Who's what?
That back there? Someone back there, like very far back.
That would be Jason, I believe. As Harris is going to take the wide line through the Diablo hairpin.
I was tracking Jason. I didn't realize he was that far behind.
And it looks like T7 Jake potentially getting challenged by Nikolauts for, well, just overall position, basically. Of course, he doesn't want to be scored here, but as far as unofficial results go, he's right on Jake's bumper. That GT300 just can't carry the speed, though, as Eris was running side-by-side with Twin for a short moment there, as here's Nikolauts trying to get by Jake. He's got the cornering speed, but Jake has got the overall speed on the straightaways.
Can I fly Navy?
Yeah. And Northern, if you want.
Alright.
And it looks like Nikolauts has cleared off T7 Jake. We'll make our way around, wind up into release. And Nikolauts will be ahead of Jake. But how about the power of that C4 BMW? Arisnetta, more power than Twin Turbo V6. It's going to get by. Takes away the podium position. As T7 Jake still hanging behind Nikolauts. There's a crossover move now between Arisnetta and Twin Turbo V6. A lot of spicy action here as Eris tries to run the outside line. That's going to potentially cost her a cut. The cut limit for today is going to be 30 cuts. I think, actually, let me look. It'll be 35 cuts for the GTI class until you get a 10-second time penalty. Let's hope that we don't really have anyone reaching that mark. But, of course, that could easily happen if you're inconsistent. Not going to matter for Nico, though.
Very true. Very true. Yo, Robo, I think I'm going to go get an apple real quick. I'll be right back.
Alright, apparently, Kelly's...
Oh, Navy's here! Alright, I'm going to go get an apple. Be right back.
Alright. I think he said either a nap or an apple. Either way, Kelly is a little bit off the broadcast booth with us as we're going to move on up ahead. Looks like a Bly getting hunkered down by Twin Triple V6 as we go through Sector 3 here. About a car length separating Twin Triple V6 and Oblide, and it looks like Twin is closing in. They just have a little bit more speed to carry around. Looks a little bit like a wider line there as well for Oblide. We're now making our way through the chicane. It looks he's on the bumper, trying to carry more speed around the outside. But it looks like a Bly down the inside has cut down the distance. We're now through the last couple turns of lap 3. As once again, Blue Gen will lead us off for another lap. Meanwhile, for second place, the battle continues. And it also is to be noted that Blue Gen's laps are messed up. I'm going to fix that. There we go. That is the actual leader, not Oblide. Don't know what that was on about. My bad. But it's fits and we're good. Oblide got a really good exit there as they make their way into the Black Rock hairpin. It seems to be that coming out of the turn into there. It's now very deep down the inside. Something went wrong for her. So we'll see if she's kept her position. Looks like her car's been bent all loose. As Nikolauts might be gaining a spot here. Meanwhile, the two Porsches side by side, battling for position. It's between Ibis and DGS, operated by Oblide for a temporary ride today. She's going to keep the GUI clean for just a second. As it looks like Snetta also being hunted down a little bit. Meanwhile, up for second place. Still, Twin right on the bumper, clawing away at anything he can gain. He's fallen a bit behind that time. As we'll now watch Snetta. Nico Alex clears out Snetta. She gets loose. As we make our way through Sector 3. Of course, at some point soon, not quite soon, but there will be a moment where I think these drivers might consider a tire change. It might be in the next few laps. Curious to see if anyone's going to do any undercutting. Blue Gen has built up a gap as Oblide gets overtaken by Twin Triple V6, but he's still right on the bumper. Now taking down the inside for a second. Gains a little bit here out through windup into the release corner. They're side by side down the front stretch. Twin's going to go a little bit wide as we run on each other. It's all going to depend on your shifting. It's a drag race into turn number 1. Very great shift there by Bly, but they just jumped through each other, and Twin is later on the brakes. Is that going to scrub any speed? Looks a little bit like that's the case. As here's Oblide gaining a little bit. He's going to take a wide turn, though, and that's going to actually allow him to gain some speed. Now side by side for second place. Once again, Snetta also seemingly battling with Nikolauts, almost. Well, we're going to focus on that Porsche in second place. That's a crossover move there. Almost like a defensive move by Oblide, and Twin will sweep under and take the position. Meanwhile, Snetta desperate to claw at anything. Yeah, looking at cuts, we're going to move the corner cuts up to 40 laps. Or 40 corner cuts, it's going to be the cut limit. It seems to be you guys are a little bit outside the track here and there. Please try your best to stay on the track, though. But if it's everyone kind of like this already, then we're just going to up the limit a little. Again, the Porsche's just inside of each other. As we run it side by side, the 45 and the Ibis machine. Oblide's going to run a wider line than Twin. Might carry more speed on that exit. As the cars make their way through chicane, we've now made our way nearly a quarter way through the race. It's been a pretty clean sweep for the 2020 GT3 SLC GT3 Championship. That's Blue Sonic Gen there. I mean, he's got a pretty clean race ahead of him. It's been a bit frustrating these last couple weeks for him. Overall, so far looking good.
I am back with an apple too.
Nikolauts is just so Nikolauts overtook Arisneta, so he's already in 4th place. Pretty competitive with the field.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
And Applied and Twin have just been at it these past couple laps, so that's what you've missed. We're a quarter way through the race, by the way, so a little bit more time left, I'd say. But
yeah,
we already went through a chunk of it. Advice to Eris to watch her cuts, because that will sting potentially. And nobody else is really struggling that much, so.
Yo, Robo.
Yes.
Are you hyped for SNGP, man?
Of course I am. It's a lot of work, though, to get it all together.
Heck yeah, bro. Gotta put in the work, man. Gotta put in the work. No, Navy left, man.
A lot of these drivers have just been going off the track, and yeah, those cuts will definitely hurt you later on if you're not too cautious. We increased the cut limit from 35 to 40, so it's a little bit more lenient. That was probably a wise decision. Yeah. Arisneta, though, our pole sitter, has been having a bit of a rough race, to say the least.
I will say, though, I don't know if I misheard you from the other room. I do believe when you said we're changing it to 40 corner cuts, you said we're changing it to 40 laps.
I did.
I had like a panic attack. I was like,
there's no situation we would ever make a race longer. If I say it's that long, it's that long or shorter. The only reason to be shorter is there's too many reds.
Yo, Robo, should we make Auto Club 150 laps in the IndyCar Series, bro?
Brother, I'm not here for a full cup race.
What about the Indy 500, man? 100 laps?
Indy 250. That's the Indy 250. There's no other exceptions. T7 Jake off the line on the sand trap, but he'll collect himself and keep together.
But I just want you to think for a moment how hectic it would be if we did all 200 laps.
It probably there'd be like 3 cars left by the end.
Probably.
Unless you had like more entries.
Last season was wait, what?
Unless you had like more cars entered or something, in the routes of that.
I think this is the most consistent season we've had.
Yeah. The Porsche. There's a move there for the Porsches, and the Blide will make a sweep by Twin as they make their way through the Diablo hairpin.
But why didn't you go get an apple, bro?
I'm making sure nothing happens here. As Twin
I can make sure of that.
Runs with the brakes down the inside. And a Blide is going to stay ahead. But Twin still down the inside, side by side for second place. Once again, these two equal machines cannot get away with each other. As we are potentially narrowing towards the pit zone, I'm interested to see if there's going to be any undercutters.
Watch Arisneta not pit once.
We'll see about that one. I think she might have learned her lesson from the last race. I'd hope so. As again, the two Porsches just inside of each other cannot get away. It's been this way for the last few laps. And of course, you have cars and equal machinery. It's just gonna be that way, of course. As we make our way into the final sector. Now the Porsches were slightly boosted a little bit in power. They were given about 10 more horsepower because we did notice that they were very slow on the straights. We're not even reaching 160 when I did testing, so seemed not to be as dominant as Blue Gen in his 488. Arisneta picking up the gap here with Nikolauts through the straightaway. It is GT3 versus GT300. She's got more power. Now to the braking line. And Aris is going to fall wide, and Nikolauts will carry more speed and slip on by, but Arisneta's got a fast sector here. may just about come to her advantage. Yeah. Meanwhile, the Porsche is side by side.
Twin, I'd watch your cuts, buddy.
So how do we look on cuts? Aristonetta's pretty rough there, as she gets loose once again. The two Porsches crossing over forward position.
And feeling a little bit like F1, just a little bit.
At least F1, unlike F1, at least the cars are together.
Yeah, that's true. Yo, dude. Reba.
Yes?
Dude, I saw an Instagram post, and it said, to the absolute surprise of no one, and there was like the image of Max Verstappen and the championship winning car.
Yep. Honestly, yeah, I was not surprised at all, and just coming into that race, that was pretty much it. Here's Twin down the inside of a Blythe. Blythe's going to go down the wide line and around the outside, and he'll carry more speed into the chicane. Anyways, these two are battling here. I'd say might want to leave these topics to when these are a little bit more sterile.
That is true. That is true.
Aristotle also with it on Nikolaus, two of them crossing over onto the last sector. And there's a couple more turns left here, now into the clubhouse corner. Aristotle is going to check away the inside line, but Nico is definitely going to be at a benefit here with his overall just better handling car. Look how tiny that thing is.
Very, very tiny. Little.
And keep in mind, Nico's not exactly a small guy. Kind of funny how I almost would expect it to be the other way around. Aristotle, of course, being Miss Mazda out here with her Mid-Car series. But she's in the GTI car.
Miata.
Aristotle and Nicolas still side by side as they round through into one of the longer straights. This, I think it's the second or third longest straight on the course. Aristotle is going to stay ahead. But then we get into this very technical set of hairpins. It's definitely going to be to Nico's advantage. The Porsches have not really... it looks like a Blythe might be picking up a little bit of that gap there, but not too much. Aristotle is going to try to go around and gets loose. It's definitely some point soon. It might be considerable for one of these drivers. Might consider a pit stop. Reminder, of course, you got to be in first gear redlining once you hit those marks to stay pit. Otherwise, you might not get a fun penalty to deal with. Here's Nicolas.
24 hours of Utah Motorsports Park.
You know, FIA used to run endurance cars here, and there's the Porsches once again at it.
Still battling side by side. A Blythe's gonna get by, number 45 Porsche. Still holding on to second with what little time he has over Twin Turbo V6.
Twin's gonna go onto the gravel for a second, but so is Blythe really off.
Wide!
Way off the line.
V6 challenging for second place now. Will he be able to hold on to it coming to the line? Trying to hold off the other Porsche.
It'd be great to see him multi-screen here because it also looks like we got two battles you can see there. As here's Nicolas also trying to make a move there once more. As making the way around the final turn, Nicolas down the inside. He's on the gravel. There's Ned is going to have the faster car. Will stay away by the start-finish line. Next time by will be the halfway point for our leader Blue Sonic Gen.
Oh, we're halfway there. Whoa!
We're almost there. As
getting to my
Jason
car.
has pulled off here. Says BRB. He has... I don't think... Has he ran a lap down? I don't recall seeing his car.
I haven't seen him this whole race.
He's got a... I'm going to change him to 8 laps. I think I might have messed up his laps or something. I don't think he was a lap down per se.
Neither do I.
So.
Oh, Blue Sonic Gen. Oh, Blue. Oh, Blue.
Well, anyways,
Big
the two
Blue
Porsches
Sonic
side by side, again, just cannot get away from each other. Same thing for Nico and Eris.
let's just appreciate how big this gap is between Blue Sonic Gen's Ferrari and those two Porsches back there. Like, look at this gap this man has opened.
It's pretty big, although I wouldn't say it's as big as some of the gaps I've seen in the ROTS mods recently. It's just, I can't imagine.
Hey, I thought you were about to say it's...
Whoa there! Whoa, this is PG. This is PG. We're not going that route.
Hey,
Whoa there.
We looked down that route and we said no.
You know, you can say whatever you want off screen, but we're kind of running something here, so let's
demonetized.
Yeah. Well, here's Blue Sonic Gen comes around the final turn onto the front stretch. We are halfway done with the race. Is there any choosers to do a pit stop? Looks like both the Porsches and the Ferrari stay out. How about Aris or Nico? By now, we're about halfway through. It could be beneficial to get that advantage, and it looks like Nico will be a taker.
And Robo, I think now is a perfect time to thank our sponsors, Dale Cola, one step closer to diabetes, and the SLC branded toilet paper.
That would have technically been a penalty, but since Nico's not being scored, that's not going to matter. Just continue on, Nico.
And then our second sponsor, DGS sponsored toilet paper, not as good as Charmin.
That would have been a pit penalty for Nico, but we're going to let it slide since he's not a scored driver. So Nico Lotz goes back on track. He's finished off his pit stop. We'll see where that one runs later today. Two Porsches are still out here. Is T7 Jake going to be a taker? He makes his way around the final sector. Actually, no, he's in
the black corner cuts. Eris Netta!
She's 11 there from a 10-second penalty. I don't think that'd be very nice for her.
Diablo, I would lay off the corner cuts there, buddy.
Two Porsches now battling out with each other, still side by side.
Jason. I see Jason.
Yeah, Jason did a pit stop technically early on. As here's the two Porsches on each other's bumpers. Still, once again, cannot get away. I'm sure by the end of it, they're both either going to be very stressed or very, very, very happy.
Blue Sonic Gens just on like a midnight cruise right now, bro. He's vibing. I'm in his best life. Look at this man. Look at his face, bro. That's the face of a guy who's winning. Here's Twin trying to pick the inside through the wind-up corner. Now out of release into the front straightaway, and Blide's gonna stick ahead. We got 9 to go. And it's not in Eris' nature to do a pit stop, so she also stays out. And seemingly hearing her car, you could hear her, she's short shifting, trying to save fuel for one reason or another. 'Cause she's a nerd. I'm kidding, Eris. You're cool. Eris met very easily on the throttle. As we look at the board, currently Blue Gen has the fastest lap. The Nicholas, that's a purple sector 2. Comes across the line with a fresh car. There is T7 Jake now making his way out of the pit lane. And Jake will leave just behind Nicholas. Though, with fresher tires, I wonder if that could allow him to potentially make up a spot. I think that was a little bit of a better pit stop from Jake than what Nico had. Jake the Cake? Robo. Yes? This is a perfect question for a situation like this. What are your thoughts on capitalism? Well, if it wasn't for capitalism, we wouldn't have these wonderful race cars. Porsche would not be a thing. Neither Ferrari, neither would McLaren. Anything here, the track, nothing be around without capitalism. So that's all I can say. Attaboy, Robo. Now, on your thoughts on the other implications of capitalism, well,
Oh well, I guess.
Yep.
There's some ugly sides, but there's stuff like this.
There's some good parts to it. Yeah, exactly. There's some good parts.
There's Jason now, I believe, a lap down officially. I think he might have been already a lap down. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but we'll let it slide. As looking at positions, is T7 Jake ahead of Nico? No, he's not. I was just tripping, I suppose.
Oh, Robo, did you hear about what happened in Israel?
Yes, war. Like war.
Yeah.
Not pretty. Not pretty. But
No.
we hope the best for honestly civilians. Doesn't matter government. It's anyways, on to the battle between the Porsches. That's a horrible way to go back into it.
I'm making this stream so sad.
Yeah, you're so sad. I just want to see cars going around in circles. As there's
circles. What?
we're going around in
A circle.
a pretty weirdly shaped circle, but nonetheless, a circle. There's
A circle. It's a quadrilateral.
just something. Like, anyways, here
bingo.
is potentially looks like twin down the inside and side by side again with a Blide in his Porsche.
Robo, we should run the bigger configuration.
This is the bigger configuration.
No, the even bigger one. You know, the secret one. The one the FIA doesn't want you to know about.
The FIA, I don't even think the FIA runs this layout. I'm pretty sure they ran the shorter one.
No. It's the secret one.
Wacky. Anyways, the car's now making their way around the last couple set of turns. As there's Twin loose! Twin spins! And that is going to allow a Blide to keep himself together. That's very significant there. As a Blide
Right, now I need to...
has a little bit of relief.
Set off your, but I think this is now the perfect time to set off the remote explosives.
And that could be a sign that a pit stop could be helpful. We are late in the race, so that's a very risky move. But at the same rate, with Twin spinning out like that, there's very much so more possibility for this to happen again. If you spin out too many times, that could easily lead to a very poor performance. You could even lose the spot you started off with. Of course, Blue Gen has always been very good about their tires. They seem to be pretty. They're going through the laps, of course. They got a 2:05 here.
Robo, I may need to switch up my pick here. I think I may need to go with Blue Sonic Gen.
A little bit late, I'd say, but very much so. Pretty easy call from the start. Honestly, surprising how he's gotten everything together here. And it's just been very consistent. And, I wasn't expecting much out of the Ferraris coming out today, although I did a little bit of practice earlier. It was really hard to keep up with them. So, seemingly, they seem to drive very well under the right hands. As, Blue Gen seemingly, what was this, like 8 seconds?
Yeah, about 8 seconds. I say he wins by 9 seconds. Or, over.
It's probably going to be 10. Anyways, though.
I'm going to predict it again, Robo. I'm going to predict it again.
Here's a blind. I'm making the way through a couple turns here. Blue Gen comes across the line, and they're a little bit on the gravel. We're going to look at the cuts. And so far, everyone looks good. Although Arisnetta, you got 7 till you get a penalty. Next time by, we'll have 5 laps to go.
Yeah, Robo, what's the temperature over there in California, my boy?
As of lately, it's been hot. Finally started cooling down. I'm assuming it's probably pretty warm here, too.
Dude. Over here, it's like 50 or 40 now.
Yep. Sounds about right. I got a friend up in DC that's been talking about the weather being that cold. So, for you guys, fall's already here. We got a couple weeks.
It was like 60 the other week, and now it's like freezing, bro. My body was not ready for that.
It was 90. It's 95. It's actually not too far inland from here, so yeah, we got heat. If you look at the board, Blue Gen has actually been falling a little bit behind. Blind has been doing pounder after pounder for these laps.
Snetta, you got 6 more cuts, man.
So, Blythe could potentially still be within a chance of winning, I'd say. Really, if Blue Gen gets into a spin, he's still in that range where if you spin out, you're probably going to be in a tough situation. You can still see Blythe in the background. Of course, this track is very wide open, so that's not something huge to say. You can see probably up to Jacob parts. But so far, the field has spread out. I suppose that could be a good opportunity for you to talk politics, although after that last experience, I feel depressed.
What?
I feel quite depressed.
I don't think I'll talk politics, but my boys in Philly did go 5-0 today. Go Eagles. And look at that. Blue Sonic Gen is slipping and sliding.
That could definitely hurt pace. Blythe is very well known for keeping good pace. Is his gap going to be lower? It is not.
Actually, no.
It goes the opposite way, so this is not a good lap for a Blythe. Blue Gen has been a little bit back. He's lost a couple seconds per lap.
Twin turbo V6, man. Twin turbo V6. 5 to go here in Utah Motorsports Campus.
So we're here.
Blue Sonic Ben has been putting on an absolute clinic in the GTI class. He goes really loose out of that corner.
A little bit wide.
He's losing traction by the second. He's chewing up those tires.
Seems to be one of those instances where doing a pit stop doesn't quite go right. Oh, he's loose out of that turn.
Yeah, those tires, man. He has been chewing them up and spinning them out this whole time, man.
Still running very quickly. Still running very quickly, and the more laps he's running, the more he's just driving, the better chances he has of winning. I know that sounds very dumb to say. It's pretty just common sense.
I don't know, man. If he keeps pushing those tires like that, it may come down to a late race battle. He gets loose! That is going to hurt his time tremendously. And the Blythe is now within rear view mirror distance.
Alright, well, the car's now making the way across the line. It's been a bit of a gap. Is it going to look that way? Judging by the lap times through the sectors. And actually, Blythe has cut down that gap to 5.5. But
2 seconds cut off there.
We only got 4 laps to go, though, so that's going to have to really go down quickly. So, going to be very dependent.
Blue Sonic Ben hold on to whatever lead he has over a Blythe for just a little while longer? Or will he choke and let a Blythe by to claim a victory here in Utah Motorsports Campus? We shall see. As we can definitely see, a Blythe has gotten a noticeable closed gap on Blue Sonic Gen. About a 1.5 width away from him in first place.
Not much else.
Yeah, just about a corner.
Oh, yeah. Not too much else to report, but there is Blue Gen. A lot of things to stress about here. This late in the race, he's not done a pit stop, and that is a strategy, although it's a very risky one on some tracks. I do recall when I was at GoPort, that's how I got my win this year in the GTI class. I just held it together. He's loose again. He's really loose. He's off the track. Ah, boy. He's not
This is
in the
not looking
situation he
good.
wants to be in, although Blythe hasn't done a pit stop either, so there's not exactly many heavy hitters up front. And I was on a track where it's more beneficial. This lower speed tracks, it really matters with your tires. These high speed tracks, it also does matter too, but every single turn he's loose. He's all the way offline there. So this car's driving very ugly indeed.
Oh,
could hardly stay together.
A Blythe having similar issues in the back there.
He's closing in, as this time by will have 3 laps to go. So it's going to be a matter of who's
feeling the pressure from second place. A Blythe closing that gap by the second. They crossed the line. Let's see what that gap's looking like now. There's only a 3-second gap between him and Blue Sonic Gen. Who will get it?
This is very bleak for Blue Sonic Gen, as Blythe historically is just known for being really good on tires. Same thing with Blue, and Blythe is also known for being good with loose tires. So that could be another factor of this. It could even be possible that Blythe's tires are just way more dead, but he just has more control.
It does seem that way. And look at that through that corner. You can just see how close a Blythe has gotten to Blue Sonic Gen, as Blue Sonic Gen is basically formula drifting it around every corner at this point, which is actually allowing a lot of other people to catch up to the front too, with their traction almost being completely gone. Drivers have been able to catch up to the top 2, so we may actually see a few changes here in the podium.
This is also a very bumpy track, and bumps plus bad tires is a bit of a risky theme, but the two of them, of course, have been holding it together very well. Seems to be one of the tracks that you might want to focus more on tire saving than pits. Of course, we didn't see anyone that was a really big, well-known pit stop driver take any pits. That would be more in the direction of like Jack Pro. He usually does.
Jack Pro PC.
Yeah, that's the guy that does pit stops usually, and for whatever reason, the moment he gets out of the pits, he's just a whole second faster than the rest of the field every single lap when they started. But it's all going to depend on these sectors, and actually looking at it, Blue Gen has been holding off a little bit better than Blue.
Arisneta, 3 cuts left before she will receive a penalty.
She's also very close to Twin. Could be potentially on a route to get a podium. It's still a very rough race to go all the way from up at pole to here, but it's been a very good comeback nonetheless. And she's also never known for pitting. What was that saying? It's never stop, never back down.
Yeah.
Something around the routes of that, and I think that's her right now. She's closing in a little bit to Twin Turbo V6. As we only got 2 more laps in this race, we might be seeing 2 battles stirring up between first and second, and then third to fourth. Very much so the case, though. Arisneta closing in on Twin Turbo V6. She knows how dead tires feel. She's been finishing every race with the GTI cars with dead tires, and she always gets this late race pace too that very much so helps her.
As we can see right now, this old racing surface is absolutely chewing everybody's tires up. It is up in the air of who can win this race. Blue Sonic Gen, really, all he has to do is not get as loose as he did a couple laps ago and hope for the best. He's basically putting up to the racing gods right now in the hands of fate of what Utah has in store for him. He goes over the hurdle there. Still looking very strong. And he formula drifts it out of the corner. So does Blythe. Wow.
Gap between Arisneta and Twin Turbo V6 has closed down a little bit in the last couple turns. We're running the lead in the race, so these two, I don't know if there will be a battle for the lead, but definitely for third. I can see one stirring up just in a couple turns.
Blue Sonic Gen probably shivering in his timbers as he has only a few corners before he sees the white flag. It's up to him to not screw this up. He gets loose.
Now the final turn, one more lap to go for Blue Sonic Gen, white flag in the air. As Applied will take up second place right behind. You can see Twin and Arisnetta.
And Blue Sonic Gen has now taken the white flag here at Utah Motorsports Campus. It has come down to this, folks. Will he be able to hold on to this car with very, very unstable tires?
This is a very sketchy turn there. Here's Arisnetta. Oh, I hear a little bit of weird frequency going on, but there's Arisnetta closing in on Twin Triple V6. Here she goes down the inside through the Black Rock hairpin, and she's hard on the brakes. Goes a little bit too wide, but she's going to try to carry more speed on the exit. But Twin Triple V6 will stick ahead this time by. Now it's Aris on cuts. She still has 3 more to go. So far she's held it together. Meanwhile, Blue Sonic Gen will be leading us off.
Blue Sonic Gen holding it strong and together through the final few corners. The question is, can he hold it together for just a couple more corners to see glory here in Utah Motorsports Campus?
Arisnetta closing in once again for another move on Twin Triple V6. He gets loose coming to the braking zone, but Aris goes wide. And now Twin goes off the course just a tiny bit. That could hurt a little bit of his pace here. That was I spun, but he still holds it together. Blue Sonic Gen now through the last sector. We see Jason narrowly approaching about a lap here. But
I think all attempts from Applied will be futile as Blue Sonic Gen making his way through the final hairpins. He is about to cross over with Jason to put him a lap under. And one final corner for Blue Sonic Gen. Final corner, and around he comes. Checkered flag. Blue Sonic Gen will win here in Utah Motorsports Campus.
Second is Applied, and then now it's a drag race to the finish. Twin Triple V sits in third, and Aris in fourth. We got a couple more cars making their way around the track. And that was a very close finish there between Jason and Blue, but we'll score him as sixth place. As here's Nico, make his way around the top of the track. Couple more turns for him, as that GT300 has proved to be relatively competitive throughout today. Nico now makes his way around the final turn and comes to the front stretch now, makes his way across the start-finish line here. Comes across unofficially in fifth. Next up in the field is going to be T7 Jake. It's going to be the last car to finish us off, so we'll get to Blue Gen. Blue Gen, if you're here, I'm going to grab you. I'm going to do donuts. Okay. Alright, let me know when you reach there. Here's T7 Jake. He's making his way around the final couple turns on the track. Here's T7 Jake. T7 Jake will finish us off in fifth place. And now watch Blue Sonic Gen here. So he's now making his way around the track with Applied. Just a bit of a cool down lap. We're going to look at the board, and Arisnetta will take back the quick time, so she will be scoring about 14, so that's going to be 17 points, I think, for Aris. Here's Blue Gen now makes his way to the front stretch. Here you go. His Ferrari now doing a couple donuts. Press. been a very hot minute since Blue Gen has had a win. And today, at Utah Motorsports campus, it finally comes back again, with Blue Gen on top. Looked to be a little bit of a stressful race weekend, or race for him. Still hold off a completely dominant race. And there's Blue. Whole smoke screen right behind him. If we count the top three to the front stretch, that also means Oblige. So if Oblige could move their car to the front stretch, we do a little bit of a funny podium here. So I don't think Blue does verbal interviews, but we're gonna still try to see if we can do a chat one. It's been a while since I think you've come up on top, but very good to see you back up front. How are you doing? How's the track today? He says, I was just, wait, in the zone for the first couple laps. I don't know, I hadn't felt that in a while. Got very loose there towards the end. And, kind of curious how you're feeling currently about that. We can do a cool photo like that if you want. Nearly died during one lap. Then I actually changed my driving style and boom, actually not died. So coming up to SNGP, if you do race there, you feel like it's going to be a pit stop track, or think it's going to be the same strat, we're just going to hold things off? Track Loans is definitely a pit stop track. Amount of traction zones is insane. It does have a little bit more traction than most other tracks. It does make it a little bit tougher. There's also a lot of places that can flip you and cause a caution. It will spin you out. And that. Yeah. As did happen to Jack Pro last time during Patriot Grand Prix. Of course, Blue Gen is no rookie to Track Loans. He's been there basically since race 1. There was a caution, I definitely would have pitted. Absolutely. But yeah. Alright, let me get a photo here. If you could look forwards. I'm gonna take a screenshot in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Actually, let me. Alright, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. There we go. All right. Well, next up was Oblige. I don't know if Oblige. Oh wait. Jason joined. Let me get another one. This is not the real Jason. This is a mannequin. Let me delete the fake one. Nothing good. Oh, errors did that. All right. Let me get this thumbnail. It's okay. We'll just run it with what we have. Oblige, do you do verbal interviews, or are you just gonna go completely non-verbal? Just chat. Oh, Bear's gonna adjust herself. Alright. Let's take a screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Oh, that'll work. Alright. Test. Alright, well that was a bit of a close finish there. Had a really big battle with Twin throughout today. But later on, it looks like you were gaining a little bit towards Blue at the end. So, what was a little bit different towards the end for you? Not gonna wait for them. Probably the changing condition with wearing tires. Just to be typing pretty quickly here. Since I didn't practice as much, I was slower in full grip. Worn tires probably helped me catch blue. Yeah, you really do have a lot of a better driving style when your tires get worn down. Use the slidey cars. Definitely. I hate sliding curve. These rarely let loose. Someone shoot down fake Jason. He's tilted. I don't see fake Jason. Alright, is there anything else you want to say about today? Blue big noob, that is all. Thank you there. Alright, first verbal interview. We're gonna run this one through. It's twin turbo V6, runs up on the podium. Had airs right on his tail by the end, but he held up together, and by the end, he's still on the podium. How are you doing?
That was a really fun race, honestly. That spin unfortunately ruined my pace. My tires just went off a cliff after that. As you normally would expect from a spin. And yeah, I was just really trying to hold pace from Eris, really trying to hold her back. I just obviously wanted to keep the podium. And yeah, that worked. Just trying to like take the limits of all the corners on the last lap, and yeah, it worked well. But yeah, the battle is definitely the highlight of the race for sure, with me and Shiro. That was just awesome, honestly. We were like trading places like every single lap. It was awesome. Probably go down as like one of the best battles we've had in this class. Yeah, that was really fun. So, congrats to everyone. Honestly, this is just a really fun race.
Thank you, Twin Turbo V6. As other than this class, he has actually been really dominant throughout the weekend, if I recall correctly. That's true, right? I think you were doing really good in the ROTS mods, right? Or am I demented?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just I don't really seem to be really good in other classes for some reason. I guess maybe it's just driving style. Because I prefer ROTS mods because they're a little more oversteery. These ones are more understeery. Same thing with the micros. And I just prefer more so oversteery cars. But yeah, they're still fun to drive, especially once you get the hang of them. Like they're just nice cars. But yeah, I was just hoping to do a little bit better with this, at least get a second. If I didn't spin out, I probably would have been right up with Oblide at the end.
Thank you, Twin Turbo V6. Been a good weekend. We'll see you at hopefully Nashota. Alright. So up next we have Eris Netta, who our pole sitter actually scores a decent points run today, but unfortunately just a little bit too far out of the podium. Twin ran a good race, but you, I think you have some things to say, so I'm down to hear what you got to say about today.
I mean,
Cooper.
okay, hello.
Hi.
What can I say? I mean, I was kind of coming into this race without a lot of hope, because I practiced a little bit, a tiny bit, and I noticed that the car was absolutely infested with understeer. And I could really feel it in qualifying because I was trying to keep up with people and try to take their lines. Because that's what I used to do years ago when the 650 was okay. I just tried to take people's lines, but I was just unable to cope with the understeer. Because, like, the car did feel a bit better in the straights, but, like, the main problem, which is the fact that the car really struggles with the turning, still is there. That's why I feel like that's the reason why I was able to get so much back near the end of the race, because my tires, actually, I took a picture of them. My tires were halfway worn on the rears and a tiny bit more on the fronts. Because that, I mean, I guess that's just the strategy with the McLarens, even the MP4. Still, the battle near the end was fun. It was fun to be somewhere other than way far back. The quick time, certainly a good bonus, because I guess the 650 is good or something. Oh yeah, my tires weren't halfway. Those were my my fronts, but I would say that they're like a little bit over halfway. But yeah, it's the wheel spin you can get by wearing the tires out in the 650 that helped me. Thanks to the folks at Pirelli for making the tires so shit. You saved my life. That's all.
One other thing I want to mention, speaking of Pirelli, you have Michelin sponsors, but Pirelli tires.
Yeah, because Nico changed or whoever did it, I don't know if it was Nico or if it was you, I used to run Michelins, and I changed them for Daytona. I changed my whole wheels for Daytona, and you changed it back. So I just gave up with the tires and I tried to keep my wheels, because for the round after Daytona, the metal thing on the yellow trim on my rims was glossy for some reason. I don't know what you did or whoever did, but they ruined my flow. And whoever did that also ruined my thing. I will forever love Michelin. Pirelli can go suck it.
Damn. Alright, well, thank you,
The only French thing I will support. Only French thing I will support.
Well, thank you there, Arisnetta. That's some interesting words. Up next, we have T7 Jake and the Asterion Z4. How are you doing today? And how's the new car?
I'm fine. The car's fun. I didn't do that good, but I enjoyed the racing. I did a lot of practice in the GTR, but that was totally different than these cars today.
That is pretty interesting, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe that was who knows, that could have been an old GTI car. That wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. So we got some leaders taking off just for fun. As somebody stole your car.
No, Twin just sending them down the straight. Oh, there goes Twin.
Yep.
Nice win.
Alright, well anyways, how was the track today? We usually are a pace car, but now you were able to run the track at pace.
Yeah, I enjoy these long 2-minute tracks. They're really fun.
Actually, since you are the pace car driver, I must ask, how are you feeling looking up to the 2023 SNGP GTI race? Whether or not you're racing, just in general.
I'm excited for it. I always like racing GTI at loans. Or just any class at loans.
That's fair. Any car swaps?
Awesome. You're not gonna see it this time though.
Alright. You have a great evening, Jake. We got 2 more people to interview with Nico Stays. We have Jason up next now. So Jason's been a patient guy. Almost got it at the line. Almost got screwed at the line. I think you're unmuted. Let me just check. You got a copy, Jason?
Yeah.
Bit of a... Not sure what to say about the race from your POV. But disappointment. Alright. What can you say about it today?
I was doing my flow, but, yeah, those tires are not pretty good on me. When going into the corners. So, yeah.
Okay, a bit of a frustrating race. Are you still looking up to the next time we race these at track loans?
Um, I don't know I don't know for sure. And what kind of car is that driving by?
That, I believe, is Perf's GTI car. It's a big boy car. Yes. So pretty uncertain for you is what I'm hearing. How about next weekend at Nashota?
Are we having ovals or road course?
It's ovals for the next 2 weeks. It's going to be Nashota, then Milwaukee.
Oh. Oval is going to be fun for me.
Alright, well that's good to hear, Jason. And we hope you have a fun ride out. Thank you for having this patience. I don't know if I'd have that patience, but really, honestly, kudos. So, thank you for sticking around. We're going to move on to guy with the most interesting car in the field today. That is Nikolauts, if he's still in the VC. If there's a trophy for the most interesting car in the field, that definitely would be you in your rotary-powered RH7. Of course, not being scored in the standings, but overall finishing 5th position by the end of the race. How's the car today? How's the track? And how are you?
I is doing quite fine. Now, you have to understand, right? I coming out with a GT300 car, right? Great car, love the rotary, great racing by the way, track fantastic. However, what the thing is about the GT300s, they have a lack of horsepower, less top speed, and better handling, right? So I was taking the turns just as good, if not better, than the other cars, but I was just not keeping up on the straightaways. I was lacking overall straight line speed and kind of lacking overall in just drivability. That's just part of me because I rusty. But yeah, no, I mean, I had a good little fight with Ares for a little while. Me and Jake fought out a little bit. I had a tad of a thing with behind chasing Twin, but that didn't really last for too long. I think it ain't too bad for me not racing in 2 3 years.
It's always great to hear in interviews, man. Is there any implications for GTU coming to a track like this in the future?
Well, yeah, we will see. We will see.
We'll see.
Definitely a good place for testing. Good place for testing. So if the car's driving well here, we talk it over a bit. We might be able to pull off something.
That's good to hear. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to say about today? You could be unhinged. You got permission to be unhinged if you need.
Right. So for the 3 other people here, right? Eris, Jake, and Blue, right? For you 3 who was begging me to race, I want y'all to fuck yourselves and stop harassing my ass. Right, cool, I got.
I'm very hungry. Feed me the pizza.
All right, that was some pretty good team Nico there. Thank you to Kelly and everyone else throughout the weekend that was here to race. That's going to close off for this weekend. We're going to have 2 more oval weekends until Spooky Grand Prix finally starts off. We'll have the announcement once we're racing on the Milwaukee weekend. We'll be doing all the classes, and so far we're almost set for what's racing. And I think we'll be racing SNGP GTI. It's going to be on Sunday, more than likely, after how this weekend has gone. So, yeah. That should do it for today. Thank you guys for watching.
fuck is going on?
What's happening?